Imagine taking a walk along a quiet, misty beach. The only sounds are the gentle lapping of waves and the cry of distant gulls. You spot something in the sand, half buried by the tide. It's a sneaker, a simple running shoe. But as you get closer, you realize with a chill that something is terribly wrong. Inside that shoe is a human foot. This isn't the opening scene of a horror movie. It's a real and deeply unsettling mystery that has haunted the coast of British Columbia, Canada, for over a decade. Since August 2007, more than 20 human feet, still encased in shoes, have washed ashore on the beaches of the Salish Sea. Each discovery is a new piece of a puzzle that grows more complex and more disturbing with every passing year. Where are these feet coming from? Who did they belong to? And why are they appearing one by one these shores? This is the story of Canada's creepiest unsolved case, the severed feet mystery. It all began on August 20, 2007, on Jedediah Island, a small, uninhabited provincial park in British Columbia. A young girl visiting from Washington State was exploring the shoreline when she found a size 12 Adidas brand sneaker. Curious, she opened it, only to make a gruesome discovery. Inside was a decomposed human right foot, still in its sock. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or RCMP, were called in. Initially, it was treated as an isolated, albeit bizarre, incident. Perhaps it belonged to someone who had drowned, a tragic accident. But just 6 days later, another foot washed up on nearby Gabriola Island. This time, it was a men's size 12 white Reebok, also containing a right foot. The 2 feet didn't match. Suddenly, this wasn't just a single tragedy, it was a pattern. The media latched onto the story, and a wave of unease spread through the coastal communities. 2 feet in less than a week. It was just the beginning. Over the next few years, the discoveries continued with alarming regularity. In February 2008, a right foot in a size 11 Nike was found on Valdez Island. In May, woman's right foot inside a New Balance sneaker appeared on Kirkland Island. Then in June, another man's right foot washed ashore on Westham Island. By 2011, the count had reached double digits. The public's imagination ran wild. Was there a serial killer at work? A monster who dismembered their victims and cast their remains into the sea? Was it the work of organized crime, sending a brutal message? Some even speculated about a plane crash over the ocean, where the bodies of passengers were lost to the depths, only to be slowly returned piece by piece. The fact that only feet were being found, and always in shoes, fueled the most macabre theories. It felt deliberate, methodical, and utterly terrifying. The case captured international attention, earning its grim title as one of the world's most baffling modern mysteries. As the number of discoveries climbed, investigators and scientists worked tirelessly to find a rational explanation. The BC Coroner's Service, using advanced DNA testing, began to slowly piece together the identities behind the feet. In several cases, they were able to match the DNA to missing persons. These weren't victims of a single event, but individuals who had gone missing over a period of years. Many were men who had been reported missing and were believed to have ended their own lives or died by accident. This led coroners to the prevailing scientific theory: natural decomposition and ocean currents. So, how does this work? When a body is submerged in water, it begins to decompose. Scavengers, like crabs and small fish, are attracted to the soft tissues. The body's joints are some of the weakest points. The ankle, in particular, is a relatively fragile connection. According to experts, the process of disarticulation, the natural separation of bones at the joint, can happen relatively quickly in a marine environment. The foot separates from the leg. But why are they washing ashore? The key lies in the shoes. Modern running shoes are often made with lightweight foam and contain pockets of trapped air, making them incredibly buoyant. So, when the foot detaches, the shoe acts like a personal flotation device, carrying its grim contents to the surface and allowing ocean currents and winds to push it towards the coastline. This explains why only feet in sneakers were being found, and not, for example, feet in heavy work boots or dress shoes, which would sink. Forensic anthropologist Dr. Gail Anderson has been a key voice in explaining this phenomenon. She conducted experiments using pig carcasses, which are biologically similar to humans, to study decomposition in the Salish Sea. Her research confirmed that submerged bodies could be skeletonized and disarticulated by scavengers within weeks. The ocean itself was acting as the agent of separation, not a human killer. The currents of the Salish Sea, a complex network of waterways between Vancouver Island and the mainland, are notoriously unpredictable. Computer models showed how an object dropped into the water in one location could travel for miles and end up on a distant shore, explaining the wide distribution of the discoveries. This scientific explanation is logical and backed by evidence. It suggests the feet belong to multiple unrelated individuals who died in different places at different times, their remains brought together by a grim coincidence of nature. For the authorities, it was a way to calm public fears of a foot-collecting serial killer. But for many, this explanation felt too simple, too neat, to account for such a persistently strange series of events. Despite the scientific consensus, a cloud of doubt and suspicion lingers. Why so many feet in one specific geographic area? The Salish Sea is a busy body of water, but are there really enough unrelated water-based deaths to account for over 20 feet washing ashore in just over a decade? Skeptics point to the odds. What are the chances of so many buoyant shoes, with their contents intact, all floating to this one specific coastal region? Some theories persist. One idea is that the feet could be from victims of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, carried across the Pacific over several years. However, oceanographers largely dismiss this, stating that the currents aren't favorable for such a journey, and the condition of the remains doesn't align with that timeframe. The criminal element theory also refuses to die. Could it be a disposal method for gangs, or a killer clever enough to use nature to cover their tracks? While no evidence of foul play has ever been found on any of the recovered feet, no tool marks, no signs of being forcibly severed, the absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence. The possibility, however remote, keeps the darker side of the mystery alive. The stories of the people behind the feet are heartbreaking. Through DNA, the coroners have managed to identify at least 10 individuals. One foot belonged to a man who had been missing for years and was known to be suffering from depression. Another belonged to a fisherman whose boat had gone missing. Each identification solves a small piece of the puzzle, but it also brings a painful closure to a family that had been living in limbo, wondering what happened to their loved one. For them, it's not a creepy headline. It's the final, tragic chapter in a personal story of loss. But for every foot that is identified, another remains a John or Jane Doe, a ghost from the ocean with no name and no story. These unidentified remains are a constant, haunting reminder of the people who are still missing, their fates unknown. Even as recently as 2019, the discoveries have continued. A foot was found on a beach in West Vancouver, and another on Jetty Island in Washington state, part of the same Salish Sea ecosystem. The pattern, it seems, has not ended. With each new discovery, the old questions resurface, and the public debate between science and suspicion reignites. Is it truly just a morbid coincidence of geography, biology, and modern footwear technology? Or is there something more to the story that we have yet to uncover? The mystery endures because it exists in the space between what is known and what is feared. It taps into our primal fear of the ocean's vast, dark depths and the secrets it holds. The sea gives, and the sea takes away. But on the coast of British Columbia, it seems to be giving back only the most unsettling of clues. The severed feet of the Salish Sea remain a chilling modern legend, a case file that may never be fully closed. Each tide could bring another shoe, another piece of the puzzle, or perhaps just another tragic coincidence. The truth, it seems, continues to drift somewhere out there, just beneath the waves, waiting to wash ashore. What do you think is the real story behind this unsettling phenomenon? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this investigation intriguing, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. Stay curious and stay safe.